We are going to talk about the vice president.
We are indeed.
Or the vice president, the man who wants to be the vice president. Yeah. But there's a bit of a catalyst to this. Fox News had a town hall thing, as they call it, with Donald Trump. So let's play this, and this will set the scene for what we're about to talk about.
Tim Walz wants free college education, legal driver's licenses.
I was so honored today.
And she wants a path to citizenship.
His brother endorsed me.
I saw that.
And his whole family. I saw the picture. And honestly, it was a very nice looking family. But his brother endorsed me, and the whole family endorsed me. I said, who are all the people?
I love it. He was on Hannity, which was a very famous Fox show. And his brother, that's such a beautiful gift for Trump.
I know.
Trump delivers that stuff so well.
I know. And it was actually, no, he's correct, but he's wrong in the sense.
His brother endorsed me. His whole family endorsed me.
What the actual story is there was this viral photo that went around yesterday on social media that I think the Nebraska governor tweeted, and it's a photo called Waltzes for Trump. And it's a photo of 8 members of the Waltz family basically saying, we're not endorsing our family members' party, we're going for Trump. But it was quite funny because it's actually like his distant family. It's like his grandfather's brother's family, so right, it's not even his his immediate family, but it's still funny. But he's correct because Tim Waltz's brother, Jeff, who they've been estranged for 8 years. He's not in that photo, but he actually has endorsed Donald Trump. And he's based in Florida because what happened was he posted on Facebook in 2023 saying we've just become a third world banana republic. That was in March 2023. Not quite sure what he was referring to then. But what's happened in the last few days is quite a few people have started, you know, as they do, start trolling for family members and started commenting on that post. So basically one person wrote on that post saying, have a talk with your brother, to which Jeff, Tim Waltz's brother, responds, haven't spoken to him in 8 years. I'm 100% opposed to all of his ideology. My family wasn't given any notice that he was selected and denied security the days after. Someone then comments, help MAGA get on stage with President Trump and endorse him. And then he responds, I've thought about doing something like that. I'm torn between that and just keeping my family out of it. The stories I could tell, not the type of character you want making decisions about your future. So Trump's right, he did endorse him, but oh my God, it gets even funnier because he's not doing any press going forward, but he did one interview with News Nation, which he was asked about what these stories are that he's speaking about his brother. What are these stories that you don't want this guy running the country or, you know, second in command? And he said nobody wanted to sit with him because he had car sickness and would always throw up on us, that sort of thing. There's really nothing...
So when he was a kid?
There's really nothing else hidden behind there. People are assuming something else. There's other stories like that, but I think probably...
I'm not endorsing my brother for vice president because when we were kids, he used to get car sick.
And like, sorry, what?
And threw up on us.
I still get car sick. Am I not eligible for these jobs? I mean, maybe not, but that's another story. But and then he goes, these are the stories. I think that probably gives you the gist of it. Not really.
No, well, no, it doesn't give you any gist at all. You'd want something a bit more fundamental, a little more solid, something maybe with a political vibe.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't think we're being too picky here in asking for, you know, a little more background as to why he absolutely loathes his own brother to the point that is going to vote for the opposition. I mean, there's nothing wrong, by the way. Not every family member. I know loads of people whose families are completely divided on politics.
Of
you know,
course.
left versus right. So there was one that came up yesterday. Name escapes me now as to how it works at home when one is so clearly conservative and the other is, you know, clearly not.
I bet there's so many memes about that when you go home to Christmas and you've got your right-wing uncle sitting there watching TV harping on about, you know, immigration. It's just like, that's just a fact. Not everyone in a family agrees on politics. I mean, you probably shouldn't even speak about it at the dinner table, as the old saying goes. But I just thought that was absolutely hilarious. And what a crying shame. He says he's not going to do any media after that. Come on, give us what we want. I want to hear more stories about the car sickness.
I mean, if that is it, really? I mean, if he says, actually, the car sickness was just a code for what really happened.
He'd always throw up on us, that sort of thing.
That sort of thing?
What do you mean by that?
What is that sort of thing? What else do you do then?
There's really nothing else hidden behind there.
Could he not just...
No, I didn't question if there was.
Wouldn't he have been better just going, look, you know, he's my brother and, you know, I just disagree with him and I happen to agree with Trump, so I'm going to vote for Trump.
And look, this is not that weird. I mean, one family, the family in that Waltz's for Trump photo, they're representing the Nebraska side of the Waltz family. That's a right-wing area. That's usually quite conservative. I'm not surprised. His brother, Jeff, is in Florida. Ultra MAGA. I'm also not surprised as well.
Isn't there an Obama family member?
Oh, yeah.
As well?
So I wanted to bring some other examples of how funny this is, because this is just, what happens with families. So Kamala Harris's dad, Kamala doesn't speak about this in public, which I think is great. You don't need to speak about your family dynamics. Who cares? Yeah. But basically, she made a joke about how she didn't care about, in her promoting her memoir when she was a senator, she kind of rejected the idea that she was opposed to legalising marijuana, and she made a joke about how she was Jamaican. Obviously, there's that connotation, Jamaicans love marijuana. So her father made a statement about that. He thought he was quite rude. He said, my dear departed grandmothers as well as my deceased parents must be turning in their grave right now. Speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty. So, and then she said basically he's a great guy, but we don't speak. And then Obama's half-brother...
So hang on. So this is her own dad?
It's a bit of a... It's a bit of a Thomas Markle.
Kardashians going on over there.
No, she's the Meghan Markle with the Thomas Markle.
So she doesn't talk to her own dad because
probably for good reason.
She essentially racially stereotyped.
Yeah, her Jamaican side. She's half Jamaican, half Indian.
Yeah. So she stereotyped her own dad. By the way, I've always had a problem with it. We talk about this a lot because my kids go to school with kids who's, you know, mum's one nationality, one's the other. So, you know, your mum's French, your dad's Spanish. Yeah. And they go, this is my take on it. So people go, oh, he's half French, he's half Spanish. It's like, where was he born? Tunbridge Wells. Well, hang on. So he's got some English in there as well. Yeah. Surely you can only claim a third, can't you? You go.
Well, don't you just say my parents are?
Yeah. I don't think you say you are. You know.
Yeah. Okay. I get that.
And then you get people who really like pretending they're anything. Does this happen in Australia?
Yeah,
people who like pretending they're anything other than.
Yes.
You know, I remember during the World Cup, and a girl in this bar went, you know, basically, there's nothing English about me. Oh, where were you born? Bromley. It's like, sorry? Say that again?
Well, you're a citizen, so there is something.
Her argument was, oh, well, essentially, my great-great-grandfather was French. It's like,
yeah,
what?
I find that, like, when I was growing up, I always thought it was really cool that I was Danish and that my whole mum's side was Danish.
Danish?
But since, obviously I look Danish, but then since I've moved to England...
Like the bacon.
Well, since I've moved to England, I'm wildly patriotic about being Australian.
Well, you kind of have to be, really, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like a shortage of you guys around here.
No, well, come on, give us a break.
Well, I haven't said anything. I'm just observing.
Have in the past.
You know, I'm just observing that proportionately, I think Australians are slightly overrepresented in this building. That's all I'm saying. That's
quite a rude comment to make, given that your boss, the owner of the company, is Australian as well. So. Well,
the owner of the company and my senior boss is also Australian.
Exactly.
Adam, my producer, is Australian. Our guests, like you, forgot your name, Maddie, she's Australian.
So what I gathered from this is that most of the talented people in media tend to be Australian.
Do you think so?
Yeah. And probably most industries, I would say.
Okay, I was trying to work that out. I was trying to think of, you know, I was thinking Russell Crowe, you know, in terms of actors.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking of people like, you know, Barry Humphries in terms of comedians who are legendary because of their longevity and no longer with us, of course. I was thinking about it. Then my brain went back to, you know, what television of Australia given the world? Because we talked about this the other week, didn't we?
Jemay Private School Girl?
What?
What? Do you not watch Chris Lilly?
Yeah, I watched Chris Lilly on what was it called?
We Can Be Heroes.
No,
Summer Heights High.
Which was amazing, and he's very talented.
Yeah, of course. And there's obviously other stuff. I
Neighbours,
actually
Sons
was thinking,
and Daughters, Home and Away, and you know, that's it. You know, as we established.
That's absolutely not it, but
it absolutely is it. Okay, that's a fact. Anyway.
Why are we on here? No,
indeed.
I do also want to say that Obama's brother...
I just had a text from your dad. He said, I'd like to disassociate myself from all the comments just made by Maddie.
My dad didn't text you that because he happens to be asleep. And he gets his 8 hours.
Oh, yeah,
and he wouldn't
He's
text
on the other
you.
side of the world,
He
isn't he?
would text you.
So Obama's...
Obama's half-brother, they actually did grow up together as well. They have the same mum. He's quite conservative, always tweets about how the Democratic Party are pro-abortion and he's not. He tweeted yesterday, which got 9 million views, "I am Malik Obama, I'm a registered Republican and I'm voting for President Donald Trump." 3 days ago, he responds to an interview Donald Trump does. Donald Trump, sharp as a tack.
So we've got Obama's brother voting for Donald Trump. We've got Tim Walz's brother voting for Donald Trump.
An Australia family.
And potentially Kamala Harris's dad voting for Donald Trump. I mean, this is dysfunction.
How does this work?
This is brilliant. I love it. This is what... Do you know what? You've actually risen above the normal levels of mediocrity that you bring to this programme.
Yes.
Maddie. And I'm telling you now, it's like you've turned a corner.
Well, that's the thing, Ian. When I was confronted with the challenge of coming on your show once a week, I thought to myself, how can I grow from this? And I feel like I have, because I'm used to going on such critically acclaimed programs, such as The Plank, and The Woke That Was, and obviously my own programs that I host.
And then you end up here.
And then I end up here. And it's all about giving back in that regard, giving the little guy a chance.
Can I tell you something? God will judge your decisions.
Okay.
When you get to the big games, he'll say, "Did you appear with the income?" Yeah, I did.
He would say, straight to hell.
Come this way, my child.
Straight to hell.
Yeah, there it is. Maddie, thank you.
Thank you.
Maddie Hale, Talks international presenter.